Yeah, that's it. Am I good? Right on time? Oh, for questions. Okay, good. Yeah.
You were going to give us several options about programs you trust.
Yeah, so it also depends on the age group. So age group for younger, I mean Pathway, I love Pathway. They are fantastic. Another group for, do you want specific for you or just everywhere in the valley?
Well, I'm sure everybody was thinking about everything.
Okay.
I want older ones.
You want older ones?
Like 30 years.
Yeah.
30 years that have been around?
No, your child is
30 years old. So I work a lot with the Meadows. The Meadows is fantastic. They do what I talked about. They do addiction and anxiety in the same groups. But I do really love the Meadows. Calvary is great. I think they're going through a transition actually from 12-step to trauma-informed right now. I think they kind of have both tracks going on. But Calvary is really great. River Source I used to work with a lot. They've been around for a while. They do quite a holistic approach, so they do some like vitamin bags and other things like that. I haven't worked with them recently. I think also one of their programs in Casa Grande is Access Approved, which I really like because there's a lot of access programs that aren't, yeah.
What was that? What was the name?
River Source. I've worked with Awakenings in Tempe. They have actually a really good aftercare. They're just an IOP, and they have an aftercare program that is like a year long aftercare. I've worked with Valley Hope. They've been around for quite a long time. They have their alumni is awesome. They do a lot of stuff with alumni. They do have a lot of medical assisted right now. So, Suboxone, Subutex. So depending on that, I'm trying to think who else. Yeah.
Michele, could you talk just a minute about any of the treatment centers that do take access?
Yes.
That are good?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that's a big problem.
So I'm actually, so there's you have a question? Access Approved. So Access Approved, and Aurora is really good, actually. Aurora has they are Access Approved. They have some adolescent groups as well with adult groups, and then they offer a wide range of groups as well. So I use Aurora for my access. I also use River Source, one of the River Sources. There's a program, it's newer, but I've heard fantastic things. It's called Unhooked. It's in East Mesa. They have a men's and a women's. Have you heard of them? Yeah. Yeah, I've heard good things too. Their admissions is a little hard. Yeah, Josh has too. So their admissions is a little hard to get through sometimes I've had a few, I think they're booked actually. I think they're filling up quick.
The issue with so many of these places is beds.
Right.
There's not beds, and I think that looking at this group, a whole lot of us are in those 20s and 30s where we don't have any control over a whole lot of this.
Mm-hmm.
Our kids are adults. We've struggled with this for so many years, and all the questions and everything. So I want to know from you, you're depending on your addict child to give you the information because they're an adult. You don't know anything. You can try, but I don't know how you tie that.
Right, so yeah, and so you can gather all the information and be ready because a phone call will happen, and I just say gather the information, educate yourself. It's not your job. I mean, there's definitely, you can do interventions, you can do things like that, get a plan in place with an interventionist, have them come in. You could pick them up in the middle of the night, drag them to detox, pick them up and drag them to the appointment. But this doesn't matter if they're ready to get sober or not. None of what I just said matters because all you have to do, it matters, but in the sense of have that plan written out on a piece of paper, have the places, because when you get the phone call, Not if, when you get the phone call, you have a plan in place. And so, I mean, I'm in recovery. I have 19 years sober, and I got sober when I was 18, and that call came to my mom. And she kicked me out when I was 16, I think. And so I wasn't home for 2 years, and I was in the middle of the desert driving, and I had a panic attack, and I called her, and she hung up on me. She said, "I'm sorry, I can't help you. You're driving to Arizona," and hung up the phone, and I kept coming. I drove, and I literally found my own treatment center, and I paid for it out of my college money, because she was like, "I'm done paying for stuff." And so I always tell parents, like, the phone call will come if you have a plan. The plan's there, you know? And so when I was ready to access all of that resource, and I did, you know? So have all of this information, know where to go, so you have that plan.
I'm wondering, like, for limited finances,
Mm-hmm.
for people that need treatment, is there like any kind of program you could do volunteer work or help to try to pay or make
So
funds or whatever? I mean, I'm trying to find resources for people I care about, and I personally don't have financial resources for a lot of this stuff.
Right. So once again, there's the access approved ones. Sometimes they do a sliding scale. So there's like, and access, they really are full a lot. So Crossroads usually has a waiting list. Unhooked is really hard to get into. But I just actually talked to, I don't know if anybody knows, TLC. It was a halfway house. It has a treatment center. Did you know that now? Oh my gosh. So they have actually a really good treatment center, and they have one of the top doctors in California, and they fly him out like weekly to do. I don't know his name. I can get it if you want it. And so also Community Bridges is a really good option, CBI for access. They have an outpatient program. And you can also ask for, if someone's just willing to give you a scholarship right off the bat, we'll give you a scholarship. Be careful. That means they're probably newer, and they don't have enough people in the door, and they're willing to get people in the door. So if they're just going to give you a scholarship right off the bat, there are foundations and there are nonprofits that will help. You know, there's Not My Kid. I don't know, they do a lot of prevention work, but they might have some resources. Child Help, I know that in the past they've had some resources. So if you start looking around, there are some nonprofit and some scholarship programs. There's also faith-based. So there's a lot of like Jewish Family Service, Catholic Family Services. There's some free, what? Phoenix Rescue Mission. So there's definitely some, like the Salvation Army, and Teen Challenge. Yeah, Teen Challenge. I think they also have, my friend runs it, it's called My Life. It's for a younger, it's through one of the insurance companies, Magellan. Yeah, and so they have some programs that are under, it's like a foundation, and it's like a community building. So there's definitely resources out there in the faith-based, and you can, sometimes they have their own foundations that will help pay for a place that you want, that would be a good fit. You can also ask for a sliding scale. So a lot of places will do some sort of sliding scale if you can see the need. And so you'll find, I always say just ask a lot of questions, come up with a plan, and you will find the right place if you can